we are discussing the metacarpal of the horse. So the metacarpal of the horse, it is having one large metacarpal bone, which is the third metacarpal, and there are two small metacarpal bones present at the posterior surface, and these two small metacarpal bones are second and fourth, and the larger one is third. Now, the large metacarpal is long, cylindrical, and it is a massive bone, as you can see in comparison to the ox. It's very massive bone. Anterior surface is rounded again, as same that of ox. The posterior surface present on the either side are two facets. These two facets, as you can see here, these two facets and these two facets. These facets are for the small metacarpal. These two and these two. Here, as you can see, this is the small metacarpal bone, and it is attached with these two facets. These two facets are present in the large metacarpal. Now, the proximal end here. This is the proximal end. The proximal end of the horse, of the metacarpal of the horse, it is broad and present small facets. These facets and these facets for the distal row of carpal bone. Now the metacarpal having tuberosity. This is the metacarpal tuberosity. It is very prominent as compared to the horse, as compared to the ox. Ox में ये tuberosity is not much prominent, as it is very prominent in the case of the horse. Now the distal, the proximal end we have covered. Now the distal end. The distal end of the metacarpal of the horse contains only one condyle. As we have seen, there are two condyles in the ox, but there are only one condyle in case of the horse. And this one condyle is very much similar as that of the one condyle of the distal end of the metacarpal of ox. So this, ये जो ox का जो single condyle है वो बिल्कुल सेम है horse के condyle जैसा. जैसे कि इसमें एक condyle है separated by a ridge. Similarly, there is one condyle which is again separated by a ridge. Now let's move further. The small This was all about the large metacarpal bone. These two condyles for the articulation with the first phalanges. There are depressions also. There are the foramens here. Now let's talk about the small metacarpal bone. Small metacarpal bone is present at the posterior surface, and bones are at the posterior surface, and there are two. One is the lateral and one is the medial. The medial one is larger in comparison to the lateral one. तो आप ऐसे पहचान सकते हैं lateral और medial कैसे होगा. तो जो medial वाली metacarpal होगी उसकी groove ज़्यादा deep होगी, और small जो हमारे पास lateral वाली होगी उसकी groove थोड़ी कम नीचे तक होगी, right? तो this will be the medial one. ठीक है, तो ये bone यहाँ से हटा के आपको groove दिखाया जा रहा है इधर, और ये हमारी small metacarpal bone है. As you can see, this is the small metacarpal of horse. These are second and fourth. Now the distal end of the small metacarpal is pointed, and the proximal end is little broader. And in case of the horse, this small metacarpal bone is also called the splint bone. और अभी ऑक्स में एक पॉइंट बताना रह गया था कि जो बोन है वो सिलेंड्रिकल है सेम, और जो इसके दोनों एंड्स होंगे वो काफ़ी ब्रॉड होंगे. और अगर कंपेयर करें ना मेटाटार्सल से, मेटाकार्पल से, तो मेटाकार्पल बोन्स जो होती है वो क्वाड्रिलेटरल होती हैं. तो दिस इज़ हाउ यू कैन मेक डिफ्रेंशिएशन. हम मेटाटार्सल भी दिखाते हैं. नाउ वी आर सीइंग द कंपैरिजन ऑफ द मेटाकार्पल एंड मेटाटार्सल. तो जो मेटाटार्सल बोन है इट इज़ क्वाड्रिलेटरल. एज यू कैन सी, देयर आर नो कॉन्वेक्सिटी, ऑल दीज सर्फेसेस आर फ्लैट. बट इन केस ऑफ द मेटाकार्पल, दिस इज सिलेंड्रिकल. एज यू कैन सी, only posterior surface is flat and other surfaces are continuous and convex, and they are not in case of the metatarsal. And also you can see the difference on the proximal end. The facets are different. The lateral facet is small in metacarpal, but it's broader in case of metatarsal, and the distal ends are pretty much similar, and other things are very much similar to that. So this was the difference between the metacarpal and metatarsal. Thank you.